Guys, welcome back to another expansion legendary tier list. Today we're gonna go through all the new legendaries from Escape the Violet Hole. There's no the though, unfortunately, because apparently we can't have the. They forgot it. S tier means I think it's gonna get nerfed. A tier means it's played in a variety of different decks. It's just meta. B means you probably put it in. C means it's super niche. F is absolute garbage. Don't even bother playing it. Any questions? Okay, I didn't think so. Commander Beatrix, easy win condition. I think with the Murloc Treasure Guild card, I forget what it's called. Insane card. I think that is arguably already a tier 1 deck in my brain already. And I'm very confident in that, to be honest with you. That seems insane. Very, very happy with that card. The other tier S, I think, in this game is, well, she can go up. She's very good. We don't have to talk about Vanessa. She's already in the game. Where's the other tier S one I saw? Now, I know you're thinking, she's probably like, now that we got the easy ones out of the way, let's go through the harder ones. I want to get the bad ones out of the way. Okay, let's start with Vama. Vama, I think, is just F. I don't think you ever really want to play the card. The only time Vama feels good is if you're already ahead on board and you clear something's minions or your opponent's minions. But I think by 9 mana, you're probably already winning the game for the most part. And I think there's just better cards you can play at 9 mana. I don't think this is playable. Also, mirror match wise, X fucking D. I'm gonna say Azelina, to be honest with you. I think it's gonna be good. I think you guys are coping. I think the card is super interesting, and a lot of the payoffs are decent for it. I don't think it's obviously S tier. I'm kind of rage baiting here, but I actually think it's like probably B. But also, it's like most of the time when you queue up against your opponent, you're putting good cards in your deck. I think that on average is gonna just be good. Like there's gonna be times where it does literally nothing, which is fine because that's just the nature of the card. But most of the time, like it's probably gonna do enough for you. Azelina Soul Sever might be my favorite card of all time. Like, I think this card is so cool, and I hope this ends up being like the start of some really interesting designs going forward. This card is just it oozes with sauce, man. Like it's so interesting. I love it. Let's go with Aya. You're always going second, but you get to pick an upgraded counterfeit to replace your coins this game, and you get 2. I think the problem with Aya is you don't get the start of game effect. Like I think maybe it'd be better if starting game you got to pick an upgrade for your coins. And I think the problem with it is like going second for an extra coin is probably not good enough. Now that being said, I'm gonna put in C. I'm not putting an F. Some of you might be like, why? Here's the thing. I think there's a chance, legitimately, I think there's a chance that you run this going, you want to go second for that coin specifically so you can go for the miracle package, because the miracle package is in the game. All right, we have this card down. So because of that reason, if you want the coin to go second, I think this is the potentially reason why. So you get an extra coin. I think that's the reason you play Aya. I don't know if it's good enough to see play in the deck. I also don't even know if this is going to be good, but I do think there is an angle here to want to run the coin specifically to draw more cards in a turn. Let's do Inspector Murloc Holmes here. It's a good card to talk about. Investigate a card in the enemy hand. If they play a card with that name next turn, get 3 coins. This card's really weird because it's kind of really good, but like low key really good. Hey, let me cook. Would you guys play a 4-mana 4/5 to get 3 coins? Would you play that card? I think I'm playing that card. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think I'm playing a 4-mana 4/5 to get 3 coins. If you play that in Rogue and you do hit the card, you have 4 chances to get it, by the way. That's really good. The other side of the coin is if you look at this card, you could look at it as I'm going to pick the card that my opponent wants to play next turn. So for instance, if I'm playing like against Herald Shaman and they want to play Altraxian on 6 and I see it, I'm going to pick Altraxian, right? That card now all of a sudden for the Shaman's like, do I want to give him 3 coins? And maybe he doesn't play Altraxian anymore because he's a little worried. So I think there's like this weird little mind game. On top of it, the upside is so powerful that I think this card actually has potential. I'm putting it in B. Like, I'm a huge fan of it. I think it's really interesting. I think there's a lot of sauce with it. I'm a big fan. Cool card. Really cool card. Okay, let's talk about the Skeleton Key. 1 mana. Discover a spell or refresh your options. 20% chance to take 5 damage each refresh. Can I say this? Can I cook? I cook here for 1 second. Can I cook? I think if you're playing Mage, it is run in literally every single Mage deck until this card rotates out. This card just seems extremely good. I would maybe put it in S tier. Actually, I should say, sorry, I said S tier, they're gonna get nerfed. I don't think any of these are gonna get nerfed. Maybe Vanessa. There's a chance Vanessa gets nerfed. But I think this card is extremely powerful. And I mean, a 1 mana Discover, we already play Sands of Time. So the fact is like, you're not taking 5 damage every single refresh. It's actually pretty, not very unlikely, but it's very unlikely comparatively to the likely chance of you not taking the damage. Very, very good card. If you get lucky enough and you hit him with the best turn 1 of all time, maybe in standard, you could actually take 5 damage twice on turn 1 with both spell weavers in hand, and you summon 2 6/6 dragons on turn 1. That card right there, if that combo is in your hand, I think you just win the game on the spot. Even if like, because you can just keep hitting the button until you get it. It's not even like a slot machine. Like at some point, if you're fast enough, I don't know how long the animation is going to take for Skeleton Key. If you're fast enough, chef's kiss, baby, it actually could go crazy. I'm very optimistic Skeleton Key is seeing play for the rest of the time. Well, it rotates out. Warden Maiev. 2 mana 1/4 after you play a minion, give it +3/+3 and make it go dormant for 1 turn. This card I think has 2 use cases. The first use case is you play this card particularly for aggro and you put this down on turn 2 or turn 3, and then you just make a bunch of really strong low cost minions, and the next turn is like a huge problem for your opponent. I think that's a very good play. I think that will be potentially very spooky. And if you don't really have it, like 4 health is actually extremely relevant. Extremely relevant here. If it had 3, this card goes down like 2 tiers because it's much easier to kill. 4 health is a nuisance. Another use case for this card is if you have a card that needs the combo with something, let's say like Deos is a really good example, or Bran if it rotates back. You play Maiev, you play your Bran, and that means you get to get all your mana back for the following turn, and then you do your pop buff turn. That's extremely interesting. And that is potentially another really big use case for a card like this. I'm very optimistic it will be good. I think this is also an easy A tier. I could see it being S because if it ends up being too good, it might have to do something, but I'm not super optimistic it's gonna be a problem. We'll see. I could be very wrong about that one. Very, very good. I can't wait to see the chat for this one. This is gonna be hilarious. Okay, Warp Tooth, 4 mana 3/3 charge. If 3 friendly characters take damage on one of your turns, summon this from your hand or deck. People for some reason think that this is like the best card of the set or something. I don't know. I personally don't think it's as good. I think it's a good card, not a great card. The thing about this card is how good is 3 damage like on turn 5, turn 6, turn 7. If you can get this down, like if I'm wrong and you can get this down turn 3, turn 2, sure, right? That's fine. There is the synergy of Hogger. Hogger seems to be a pretty decent card. I like the fact that you get to utilize it with each other. It's very synergistic, and yeah, it is 6 damage. If you are running Hogger and you are doubling the legendaries in your deck, it also means, and this is the same problem with Azelina, you are making your deck less likely to draw the cards to actually deal damage to your minions, because you may not draw those cards in time, whatever. And that could be a problem, even though you do get the upside of 3 damage. I'm not saying this card is bad whatsoever. I just don't think it's going to be like, oh my god, this is insane. It's insane. I personally believe that this is just B. I think it's right next to Azelina. I think it's just fine. We'll do Hogger because I just got out of the way. We'll just do Hogger. Hogger is an interesting one. You're never really playing it for the 8 mana 10/10. This is all about the start of the game effect. How good is duplicating all other legendaries in your deck? Pretty good. You can get another Deathwing, you can get another Altraxian, you can get second one of the dude we just saw, I already forgot his name. Isn't that just a generally good card? Yeah, that's why I put it in B. Like, okay, hold on. Let me just say something here. Guys, B is not a bad rating. B is not a bad rating. B is playable. B means that the card will be probably in a deck, right? That's what I'm saying here. A is like you're putting this in like probably every single deck. This is like it's gonna get nerfed. I think I'm putting Hogger in probably like same vein though. I'm really curious to see how Hogger ends up playing out, because the thing with Hogger, it has the chance to be so good. Like the potential upside is very high, but you have to put like, the question is how many legendaries do you put in? Yeah, B makes sense. Honestly though, hold on. Let's put an A. Because I think like the argument is this card gets better because of Hogger, and then that means every legendary you have does get better because of Hogger. So Hogger seems just generally like a pretty good card. All right, let's get Morag out of the way. I think Morag is trash. 10 mana 6/5 prepare, death battle summon a random demon from your deck, give it death battle summon Morag. I think the problem with this card is that it doesn't have taunt. And I feel like if it had taunt, it's so much better. Like, taunt would go crazy on this card. It would be so good. But because it doesn't have taunt, the problem is like you ignore it. And then even if your opponent kills it, that's still a turn that their minion has summoning sickness. And then it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like this card is like needs another keyword. It needs another keyword on it. The other issue with this card though is like you kind of need to have good demons for it to be played. And I don't know if there's enough good demons to actually want to warrant this. This is the other issue. If this card ends up being playable later on because of a demon that we have not seen yet, I said it here. I said it here. Thanks for listening to my TikTok. I appreciate it. Okay, let's do Godfrey since we're already in Warlock. Wait, Godfrey, 4 mana, 5/4. Start a game. Overdrawn cards return to your hand when you have space that costs 1 less. Card's really interesting. One of the problems with handlock, I don't call it a problem as long as you're like playing the game properly. But one of the issues you could potentially have is that you want to keep your hand as full as possible. By keeping your hand as full as possible, you end up burning cards because your hand's full. This prevents that and also gives you a slight benefit when you have an open space in your hand to cost 1 less. This has the potential to be very good. The fact that it's a starting game effect means that like you could just tap all you want on turn 2. Now the issue is this game has become very aggressive. A lot more damage is going to be done. How relevant is this effect is the problem. Seems good in Reform. You know what? That just made my decision so much easier. I think it kind of needs more of a payoff than fucking Reform. But I just think right now it's not going to have the highest ceiling. I wish Warlock's other legendary other than Morag was like, this card deals damage for each card you've overdrawn this game. I think that would have been fucking cinema, bro. Oh my God, it would have been so cool to have that win condition. You made a 5/5, Togwaggle, Smuggler King, Battlecry Shuffle, both players' hands together. This card has the chance to be so interesting. It really does. But man, it is so garbage and it's unfortunate. You guys have to confirm this to me because I'm just double checking. This card, if you have no cards and your opponent has 10 and you play this, like you top deck it, you still get 0 cards, right? Because like it doesn't average out. You get the same amount of cards you had in hand. I just want to double check. This card was playable, the player base would riot. So because of how that works, I think this card's unplayable. If this card was like 8 mana and you had no cards and your opponent had 5 and you played this and you got 2 cards from their hand, like I think that actually could be really interesting. The only use case of this card potentially is if something is very combo oriented and you can stop their combo from happening, that's fine, but unfucking lucky, bro. You guys remember when Theatar was released at 4 mana? Remember those days? Oh my God, those were crazy days. Okay, Zermat's Prison, 5 mana, 3 durability. Choose a card to discard to summon a 5/5 taunt. Death Battle, free Zermat who plays 1 each turn. Now, when we reviewed this card, luckily for us, Alex was in chat and Alex told us once Zermat plays the spell once, it's gone. Like it doesn't just keep going and going and going. Like once it plays the spell once, it's gone. Maybe that changed, I'm not sure, but that's the information I'm working with. The problem with this card is that if that's how that works, that's kind of slow as fuck. Because then it's like, yeah, you got a bunch of 5/5s, but if you play this on turn 5, that means turn 7, you get to do it again, and then turn 9, you get to do it again. And then at that point, you get a 5/5 and an 8/8, and you get those random spells. But then the issue is you're not playing those spells, right? You're kind of just maybe doing nothing with your turn. Now, the great thing about Hearthstone currently is there's a ton of draw. Like, drawing is at an all-time high for the fellas. Like where every class can draw, every class can do something. Man, I just don't know how good of an effect this will really be. I am not smart enough to understand how good this can be. Truly, I don't know how I feel about it. I think it's going to be more niche than it is anything. I don't think it's unplayable. I think if you could find, like the other thing about this card is kind of like Godfrey, kind of like Aya, maybe Morag too, right? What did I just put up? The more cards that come into the game, the better the prison gets. Okay, Chef Nethric. 3 mana, 3/3 start a game. If your deck only has cards that cost 3 or less, set your mana to 10 after 5 turns. I feel like this kind of card is either going to be really good or really bad. There's no in between. But unfortunately, I think this card's going to land on the really bad side. Here's the problem, man. Only 3 cost cards or less means that you're kind of focusing on random generation for the most part. And yeah, Druid has a lot of it. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. But if we look at Druid's standard list currently, right? That means we're not running. That means we're not running you. That means we're not running you. That means we're not running you. That means we're not running potentially like you, right? I just feel like there's too many cards we're missing out on that are not great. Also, and this is the craziest part to me. And genuinely, I feel like this. I feel like, why am I waiting for turn 6 to be at 10 mana when I could just play this and I could just play this? You know what I mean? Like if I'm able to play the Treant on turn 3 or turn 4, it's like, what's the point? What's the point? And like the worst part is about this card is the more ramp that's added to the game, the less good it's going to end up being. I'm not a fan of playing random generation Druid and hope for the best. I'm not going to put it an F. I don't think it's the worst card in the world. Again, I think it's on this weird teeter totter of like, it's either fucking nuts or it's not very good. Now the good thing for Druid, in my opinion, is they got another really, really good legendary, which is Staff of Trickery. 4 mana 1/3 after your hero attacks. Discover a Druid card. Reduce its cost by your hero's attack. There are so many ways for this card to be good with the package that Druid ended up getting on top of other cards that already buff your hero's attack. But I mean, can we just go through this real fast? Because it's fucking crazy, dude. And you guys could agree with me if you, or disagree with me if you want. I think this card's good. I think this card's very strong. I think this card's really good. I think this card's really good. Like I mean, the list goes on and on. And the great thing about it, and the most important thing I gotta add here, chat, is because you gotta look at this like this. You gotta look at this. This card costs 4 mana. If it's 4 cost, I can't play it with Chef. And I think that part right there is a huge problem with Chef. I legitimately think it makes Chef just the worst card. Because I think you want this card. Because that's how good it is. This is a good card. I'm putting in like, I think this is a good card. Jailhouse Mana Storm. 5 mana, 5/5 battlecry. After you cast a spell this game, summon a random minion of the same cost. Card is really interesting. My biggest concern with a card like this is not drawing it early enough. There is a point in the game where this card stops being very relevant. And the fact is, random minions on average are kind of just, I would call it okay. If you get this on turn 5, probably the nuts. If you don't get it on turn 5 and you get it a little bit later on, it starts to dip quite heavily. I'll probably put a B. I don't think you're gonna run it in every mage deck, but I think it's okay. 7 mana 7/7, 1 Unholy Rune, the Living Plague. Charge, instead of damaging heroes, this shuffles that many blights into their deck. Deal 2 damage when drawn. So if this goes face, you're not taking 7, you're shuffling this card 7 times. That is 14 damage. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Problem is you have to draw it. Now, I don't know about you guys. Me personally, whenever I play Bomb Warrior, or when I did play Bomb Warrior, my opponent never drew the bombs ever in their lives. I'm pretty sure like they just didn't get shuffled into their deck most of the time. There is one big important thing for this deck. Okay, there's one really important thing for this deck, and I want to mention it. Moria Manifest, some of the highest cost friendly undead that died this game. This is, you know, technically could be a win condition if you were able to actually get it multiple times and shuffle a pretty decent amount of 7 mana or decent amount of blights. There's also the case of dark gifts with a card like this, because you know, if you get like the plus damage or you get Wind Fury, whatever. Also, do you guys remember that Death Knight has an imbue? And the imbue is when you play an undead, it gets +1 attack or how many times you have imbued. We're not playing with that. We're not playing with that. But in C, I'm not very optimistic you'll see play, but we'll end up seeing whether or not it will actually be playable. Tiny Pal is a 4 mana 2/3 weapon. You choose your elemental ammunition. After your attacks, you choose another. There are 4 options. You get to freeze 2 other random enemies. You get to deal 1 damage to all enemies. You get to summon a random 3 cost minion and give a taunt. Or you get a battlecry minion and it costs 2 less, a random battlecry minion. I think most of the time, I mean, I'm gonna say most of the time, but I'm gonna be confident here. I think it's just like there's 2 options here. This isn't playable. I think you never play this. Like, legitimate, like I can't think of maybe if there's like some kind of aggro shaman deck, this is just good, but like this one I also feel like is just too random. Like, especially after playing Vanessa, there's so much shitters. It's so much shitters. So like freezing 2 other random enemies, that's pretty sick. Because it says 2 other friendly random enemies, I believe the way this works is whatever you attack into will not be frozen guaranteed. So you could attack a bad minion, like a low cost or low attack minion, and freeze 2 other things. Which is, sorry, random enemies, which is really cool. This one I think is really good, but I figure like deal 1 damage to all enemies is obviously just fine, but I feel like you're just swapping between these 2 and the one you pick first is the one that you need more. Yeah, that looks good. That looks really good. Yeah. Oh yeah. The vibes there are off the charts. The vibes there are absolutely off the charts. 6 mana, 6/7 start a game. If your deck has no other minions, get Mugs hero power. If it has no spells, get Z's. Mugs is your first minion each turn, costs 2 less, and Z's is every 5th minion you play triggers its battle cry twice. This one's really like, this is probably the hardest card to evaluate in the set for me. Because not only are you evaluating how good the hero power is, you're also evaluating how good the deck is. And I think that is an extremely hard thing to do. The other really cool thing about this card, the more cards are added to the game, the better this will end up being. But I just don't know. I really don't know. Like, looking at the cards given, it's really interesting. I think the better one is no minions. I don't know how to evaluate it. I really don't. I'm gonna maybe make a category just called Mugsy. But if I had to put it, I'm putting it like right here. I don't know how that works. Let's talk about Priest. Okay, chat, you guys gotta be honest with me. I think this card's actually garbage, but let me know what you think. Karov the Broken, 6 mana, 6/6. Death Metal, get 3 1/1 copies of a random legendary minions. They cost 1. Like, the thing is, it can be from any class, right? Dude, this card is like, okay, hold on. On average, Legendaries are about like here. Okay, they're like here. They're like kind of mid, whatever. They're okay. Most legendaries you want to play for a particular deck, but most of them are mid. Some of them are really bad and other ones are really good. All you got to do is just hit this epsilon, right? That's all you got to just be here. Now, the thing is, you are getting 3. It might be Disneyland. It might be Disneyland, man. I'm going to be honest. The thing is, like, it's a death rattle. I know there's like cards that interact with it now because we saw the preset and there are ways to trigger its death rattle again. Like we saw this card. We saw the undeath sentence. The problem is, man, I just think on like for death rattles, you want to play this card. Oh, not this one. Where is it? I think this card is like giga broken. So I'd rather play this death rattle than the other one. Right? Can we just put it for C? Like, is that fine for everybody? I literally think it's probably just F, but like, it's kind of funny. Like it has sauce to it. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna get the average legendary for priest. So I'm just not even excited for it. So it's like imagine. Okay, it's F. It's F. It's F. It's F. It's not playable. It's not playable. It's funny as fuck though. Cool card. The gamers in bronze are gonna have a field day with that one. Okay, Blood Dr. Thelena. I guess I said that. Can't remember. I'm in a 4/5 battle cry. Oh my god, not a random. Get a second hero power that costs corpses. I've heard random so much today. It's actually insane. Second battle cry is Vampire's Kiss, which is 3 corpses to give a minion +3 attack. Wait! This card with the legendary. Hold on a second. Wait a minute. That's kind of okay. Anyway, sorry. The fact that you still get to keep your other hero power is amazing. This card has the issue of like, if you don't draw it early enough, it kind of doesn't do a lot. You have to play stuff. At least you have your hero power to look forward to, right? Every single time. 1 blood, which means there is some restriction for deck building. It's probably just good though. I feel like this is a card that you could probably slot into a variety of different decks and it's just good. Like the extra hero power is just good. It's good like 8 times right there, but you have so many, like with the other cards in this expansion, there's just so many ways to generate corpses. I'll probably put it in like B. I think it has potential. Okay, 4-mana 7/5 Lifesteal Battlecry. Send your deck to the void. At the start of your turns, get 2 cards from the void. And it's a 7/5 man with Lifesteal. Okay, so for those of you who don't know how this works, basically you do the Patrick Star meme. You take your deck and you put it somewhere else. And the cool card is you get 2 cards. So you're basically going into fatigue to draw 2 cards a turn. I think this card is really good for aggro. Like really good. Like this card at the top end of your deck or near the top is gonna go crazy. Now there's other synergistic cards that add cards to your deck or check to see if your deck's empty. But for the most part here, I don't think you really care. I think you're playing this as a 4-mana 7/5 and saying like, I'm all in for the aggro deck. If aggro DH doesn't exist, it's really hard to imagine this card's playable. Drawing 2 cards a turn is so strong. I don't see aggro DH working out too much. So we'll put it in C. Trash Tath, I think that's how you say this. Soul Parasite, 6-mana 1/1. Prepare Rush after you summon a demon, gain its stats. Now when you first see this card, you go, XD, what are we doing? What is Blizzard cooking with this one? This one is the worst card I've ever seen. Here's the thing. We have a new mechanic in this set, which is, hold on, I gotta find it. The Void Soul. Void Souls are summon a random 1-cost demon, improve your future Void Souls. There is ways to get up to 10, and I imagine you can generate even more. Once you start getting to about 5 mana, all of a sudden, these cards go from being all right to pretty decent. And then once you hit 8 mana, low-key 8 mana demons, pretty goated. 10 mana demons, pretty goated. There's a 9 mana demon that's also pretty good. So there is actually a real chance here that the Void Soul package is really good. That being said, I mean, are we really playing this in that package? Maybe. Honestly, you don't even really have to prepare it. I'm shocked this card got the prepared. The 6 mana for this is like, it's not even that bad. If the rest of the spells are 1 cost, I guess you can do a better turn. I think the Void Soul cards are very good. Honestly, you know what? I'm going to put it in 3. I'm going to be honest here. I actually think it might have a chance. I mean, but it's not because of this. It's because of like the Void Soul cards. It's probably C. Okay, now we're gonna leave, or we're gonna go to the 3 coolest ones in my opinion, other than Azelina, of course. Okay, Slice and Dice is a 5 mana spell for Rogue. Replay all other cards played this turn, targeting enemies if possible, and you end your turn. What a cool effect. What a cool effect. Problem is with this card that you need other cards for this to actually be really good. But luckily for us with Rogue, we got a miracle package coming up. We got coins, we got an auctioneer. We got like Edwin Lights, but the Edwin Lights actually not very good with this, but you know what I mean? The real win condition with this is maybe just doing a ton of fucking damage out of nowhere. Like maybe you don't even go for like the miracle minion package. You're going for like damage. You're going for that dagger card that came out in Timeways. Is there any other damage cards? Like Chrono Dagger is what I'm talking about, right? Like you got Rite of Twilight to get more Herald cards. Like, I just think this card probably is just going to be good. Can you randomly generate it? Or is it like the card from Festival of Legends is the other question, I guess. But even then, I'm not going to value it off the fact that you can randomly generate it. I think it's B. I think it's fine. Really good. Seems like it could be really good. That's why I just said the potential's there. Hunter has the not the coolest, one of the most powerful sets I think I've seen in a hot minute. I think they look really good. And that is for 2 different reasons. One, let's start off with the rat catcher, because I think the rat catcher is easy. 3 mana 4/2 copy all spells in your deck. Death roll and draw 1. Depending on what spells you put in your deck, this card is probably one of the best cards we've seen in a hot minute. Would you guys like another Tol'vir? Absolutely. Would you guys like, I think the main reason you're going to play this though is this card. This card seems good. Arcane Tripwire, immediate removal followed up with more removal and or damage. And then on top of that, you can play it twice and then copy it. And then you also, which is even cooler, you get to draw cards with the weapon. Oh my God, it's fucking cinema, dude. I mean, the list goes on and on. Also tracking is this, yeah, true. I'm putting this in B. I think this is a good card. Okay, but this is the card I really want to talk about. King of the Underbelly, 6 mana, 6/5 of building your deck. Pick 3 contraband beasts. Battlecry, discover 1. A cost. This card is so cool, man. Have we ever had an effect like this in our lives? Where we get to pick a beast from another class and add it to our deck? And you get to pick 3 and you reduce the cost? Oh my God. And the reason I left it last is because now we have the full picture. We can go to all classes, we can go to minion type, and we can just look at beasts and see what we have. What do we want? Like, guys, are we serious? Actually, no, that's not even that good. I've only got a charge. Okay, what do we want to see? Omen's cool. Hera could be interesting. Probably not good enough. I don't think I really care about that. Hey, Hunter's got some cool beat. Mage, no. Ursol, kind of sick, kind of sick. First was a thing. Okay, I mean, you're right, but I mean, I'm gonna be mad for you being right. I'm gonna be a little upset by it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Agamaggan, kind of goated, not gonna lie. Cool card, cool card. Portola's really interesting. Probably don't need it though, because you can play Animal Companion. The other really interesting thing about this card is it will get better with more beasts added to the game. I just want to say this once again. I am extremely excited to see how this set works. And I think this is the most excited I've been for a Hearthstone set in a very long time. I'm very excited to see how this goes. There's so many cool interactions in this set. And that's not, this is just the Legendaries, man. This is just the Legendaries. I think some of the mechanics in the set just look really good. I'm pumped. I'm really like theory crafting's tomorrow, by the way. So I will be streaming like all day tomorrow, and I'm very excited to show you guys how powerful Azelina Soul Sever ends up being. I can't wait. Oh my God, you guys are gonna be like, damn, dude, he's right. He's kind of goated. He's kind of goated. He's actually. If Azelina is good though, oh my God, you guys are never hearing the end of it. You guys are never gonna hear the end of it. I swear to God, I'm gonna keep on bringing it up. Even 7 years down the road, I'm gonna call each one of you up on your cell phone and be like, hey, you remember when you told me Azelina is bad? Now, if she's not good, I mean, I'm just banning people. Like, we'll never bring it up ever again.